Hey there, guys. All right, today we are back with some more History Matters, and this time we are answering the question of why didn't the Allies get rid of Franco after the Second World War? A short animated documentary. Now, I believe this was actually somewhat answered, sort of, in their. I think they had a 10-minute history regarding Francisco Franco, Spain. I think is that a Spanish? I think they covered that. I can't remember. There's so many videos out there that I've watched, and I just, uh. Anyways, I don't really have a. My main guess is that he wasn't really bothering anyone outside of Spain, um, and yeah, that's really it. I feel like he just kept to himself, so they were just like, we're not gonna fight more. We're gonna leave him. That's my guess. Before we dive in, make sure you go and check out the links in the description box below. I would love to join the Discord and follow me over Twitch. And please do go check out the gaming channels here on YouTube. One is for edited content, and the other is for stream VODs. With all that said, let's dive in and get this question answered.
As you'll know, Spain under Francisco Franco was neutral in the Second World War. Despite this, it obviously had a preference for the Axis as well as ideological sympathies towards the regimes in Italy and Germany. Given Franco's preference, this raises a question. After the fall of the Axis, why didn't the Allies get rid of Franco as well? So, towards the end of the war, Franco could tell which way the wind was blowing and knew that the Axis wasn't going to win. As such, he began to make friendly overtures towards the Allies. Now, he wasn't going to join the war on the Allies' side or anything because 1. Spain was still recovering from the Civil War, and 2. Germany was still in control of the south of France until late 1944 and so could have launched punitive actions against Spain. Although after the fall of Germany, the Spanish government did consider declaring war on Japan to improve relations with the Allies. After the war was over and Europe was divided, Franco was pretty nervous about his position and with fairly good reason. The USSR demanded that Franco be ousted, first by economic embargo and if that failed then via military action. Now, the Soviet Union made these demands because for them it was a win-win. If the Allies removed Franco, then there would be a fair shot that a communist government could be installed in Spain. And if Franco stayed, well then the West wouldn't be
I completely forgot about the communist part. Yep.
able to criticise the USSR's occupation and treatment of any Eastern European nations, since at that point it would be hypocritical. The Western powers refused to do this because they couldn't justify another war to their people in a rough country for fighting against a country that hadn't really
Yeah, good advice, Napoleon.
done much to oppose them. So Franco's main worry after the war was France, who disliked him for 3 reasons. First, he existed and openly coveted French lands in Africa. Second, France had recently been invaded by a neighbouring fascist country and it really wanted to make sure that that could never happen again. And third, Franco's government killed a famous member of the
Cristino Garcia, executed. Meh.
French
Trust.
resistance in late 1946, which outraged the French public who demanded that Franco be removed by force. Now, Franco had been busy for the past few years, making friends with the other major Western allies, which he used to his advantage. He was particularly nice to the British and had made arrangements to hand over Germans for trial to them, and also he promoted non-phalangists to government to assure the British that his regime could change. The Americans didn't really buy it, but Britain wanted a stable Spain, especially one that wasn't going to invade Gibraltar. And thus, Britain made it clear that they would oppose any French intervention there. As such, the French turned to the Americans to oust Franco, which they agreed to do by forging a military coup against him and replacing him with a democratic government. However, Britain again refused to back this plan and strongly argued against it. Britain was concerned that Spain would enter into another second bloody civil war, and at the end of it there could be a communist government in Madrid. And in the end, the Americans decided not to go ahead with it. This was because Truman felt that Western unity in the face of communism was much more important than removing Franco. And in the end, Franco's gamble of simply waiting paid off. The Allies soon turned their attention to the East and combating the spread of communism, something that Franco could help with. I hope you enjoyed this episode and thank you.
Okay, so, I mean, I wasn't entirely wrong. I wasn't really close to being right either, but I wasn't wrong. He did kind of just play the whole I'm not doing nothing game. So that was why the Allies did not get rid of Franco after the Second World War. This was a decent episode. It wasn't one of their strongest because there really didn't seem to be much meat to this bone here, much to talk about. Like right, it was just it was really just Franco was like sucking up to the Allies and just not doing anything, which is fine, which is totally fine. absolutely valid. It just means there isn't much there to really talk about. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe for more, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.